Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is, as I like to say, I contend it's the best day of the week. Wednesday, baby, it is hump day. So, welcome. It's always great to be able to hang out with you. Hope you've had an amazing week so far. And here it is, here at the middle of the week. As always, let's work to get over the hump, man. Always appreciate you being here. So um, every now and again we'll hear someone talk about the fire in the belly or the fire in the gut, and I think usually they're talking about motivation, right? The reason why our goals are so important to us, and that becomes the driving force to go achieve those goals. But I also think that they could be talking about ambition, this raw desire to achieve, this burning desire to do something special, do something amazing, do something great. And that's what I want to talk about this morning. Ambition, baby, ambition, and some of the traits that we would attribute to highly ambitious people. Um, Back in 2012, a couple of psychologists did a study, and they published their findings. The study was entitled "On the Value of Aiming High: The Causes and Consequences of Ambition." And in it, they defined ambition. In the study, they defined ambition as a persistent and generalized striving for success, attainment, and accomplishment. And I can't say I have any argument with that, right? Because ambition is a major driver for personal and professional growth and development, right? I think we can all agree that no one can succeed without a healthy dose of ambition. Those of us who wish to be more, do more, know more, have more, give more. Those of us who wish to have a powerful, have a purpose, and we end up with this powerful internal drive that really leads us to dream bigger, be bigger, go bigger. That's ambition. That's what ambition is. And it's a thing that's going to drive you. It's a thing that's going to push you. It causes you, yes, to keep on pushing in order to advance and to accomplish your goals. I know in that same study, though, the authors, the study I just mentioned, the authors saw ambitious people as specifically concerned with obtaining money or obtaining prestige. And I have to say, I have not done my own study on ambition, so let's clear that up front. But I beg to differ. I have to disagree with them, and I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think ambitious people are primarily concerned with just obtaining money and prestige? I see an ambitious person as someone who is always striving to reach a goal, right? And so they work hard, they're dedicated, they persevere. They just don't give up, right? They are the epitome of this philosophy of keep on pushing, right? So they're going to push forward. They're determined to succeed. And so no matter what, and however long it takes, that ambitious person is going to hang in there until they get to where they want to go. Having said that, I don't think that ambition is synonymous with success, right? Ambitious people, as I said, are always striving to be more and more successful, and that obviously pushes them to work harder and harder. It pushes them to become better and better. Which in many cases, obviously, that's going to lead to success, but it's not synonymous with success, right? The fact that you're ambitious doesn't make you automatically successful. It allows you to do the things that are necessary to be done in order to become successful. But there are some people, I think, who also confuse ambition with aspiration, right? And I think there's even if it's a subtle difference, there is a difference, right? Aspirations kind of involve striving towards a specific goal, right? A specific goal. You could make the argument that ambition is a trait, is a personal trait. Ambition, um, is a behavior that manifests itself over and over again over an extended period, right? Ambition is not a kind of one and done. Oh, I was ambitious today, but no, I think I'm not going to be ambitious tomorrow for the rest of the week. Ambition is a trait, a person, a behavior that you see in a person over and over again for a really long time. And so when someone is ambitious, you see them constantly, continuously creating goals for themselves and pursuing those goals with intent, right? They are laser beam focused on the things that they want to accomplish. Oh, shoo. For me, there was word that I was, good morning, Eglon and Leon. For a minute, that was word that I was on mute. So, I think people, when we think of ambition and we think of an ambitious person, we generally see that as a good thing, don't we? It seems like ambition leads, as I said earlier, to hard work. It leads to success. It drives people to accomplish amazing things, great things. And as I said earlier, without it, nothing great has ever been done, right? Ambitious people are those who are going to take charge of their own destiny, as it were, right? What I call personal responsibility. So no matter what's going on around them and with them, and I can't think of any one person who's been able to get through life without having some stuff, fall on them, right? Things outside of their control. And sure, they could, and maybe in some instances, have a legitimate excuse to throw their hands in the air and go, oh my God, look at what has happened. But an ambitious person is going to look at those things because they've taken personal responsibility and go, the old cliche, if it's to be, it's up to me. And so regardless of what's happening in their lives, they're going to keep on pushing. They're going to keep working to find a way to get around those challenges. And so they're always kind of keeping their eyes open, always watching for opportunities that are kind of out there so that they can seize them. They can create, maybe create new opportunities or seize the ones that are out there. I talk about the fact that keep on pushing. Part of that philosophy is to use your existing skill set and knowledge and experience to create or to take advantage of opportunities in our dynamic environment. And when someone is ambitious, their minds, their eyes are always open to those opportunities. I have to say though, and you might agree with me that ambition also has a bad rap. It can be. I said it was a personal trait, right? It's a trait, and it goes without saying that every trait that we have as human beings, there is obviously the good side and the bad side, and so ambition can be seen as a negative trait, right? Because some people see it as this overemphasis on the pursuit of all the trappings of success, right? The wealth, the money, the fame, the prestige, etc., etc. There's an overemphasis on that as opposed to the kind of internal fulfillment and happiness, right? Some people see it that way. I wonder how you see it. How do you see that, right? Because there's no doubt there are countless examples of people throughout history who have allowed their ambition to, shall we say, get the better of them. I can, Julius Caesar, Napoleon, Stalin, Hitler. I'm kind of thinking of military people, kind of military men here who really overextended themselves and their armies and lost big time because they got blinded by their ambition, right? But I'm sure there are tons of other examples of that as well. But yeah, how do you see it? How do you see ambition? Is it a positive or a negative trait? Is it more positive or more negative? Is it a virtue or is it a vice? I'm kind of curious, right? Because again, some people see it as it's just about greed. Um, and as I just said, regardless of the trait, the behaviors that we exhibit as human beings, there are two sides to that coin. I tend to see ambition more as a virtue, right? That trait that that gets us going, man. That gets us to really push to achieve all that we can possibly accomplish. So what I like to do is share with you six traits, six habits that I believe are common to ambitious people. So as usual, let me jump over to my banners here for my friends over on LinkedIn and YouTube and so on. So the first one is wrong one. What did I do here? Here we are. Yeah. The first thing that you notice about ambitious people, I think, is that they have learned how to set goals. Right? And I say learn because it's not something that we spend all these years in school, from elementary school all the way through to doing a PhD and so on. And most of us have never been formally taught how to set goals. In fact, I'm in the process of writing an ebook on how to set and achieve goals, and I'll fill you in on that a little bit more once I have it completed. But that's one of the things I've noticed. And to kind of jump forward, we need to learn to set what they call SMART goals. SMART goals. The S for specific. Your goals need to be specific. They need to be, I want this. Like, not that I want to make a lot of money, but I want to make $1 million, let's say, right? And so hence it's measurable. You can measure $1 million. You can't measure a lot of money. What does that mean, right? They must be achievable, attainable. Choose your words right there. And by that, I mean that it has to be a goal that you can go acquire some new knowledge or develop some new skills in order to accomplish those goals, right? Then they must be realistic. What do I mean by realistic? Because what's realistic to me is not realistic to you. And I always use the analogy of our team back in 1988, right? People look at it and go, there's no way a group of guys from Jamaica can compete in the Winter Olympics in bobsledding, especially given the fact that the very short time frame that we had to learn the sport and qualify for the Olympics. Well, obviously, that was a completely realistic goal because we did it. We did it. What would have been unrealistic, in my opinion, is for us at that moment to set a goal to win a medal, right? That may have been unrealistic. Somebody once said there are no unrealistic goals, by the way, just unrealistic time frames in which to achieve them. So what we find with ambitious people is that they have learned how to set goals, as most people don't know how to set goals. Secondly, they have learned how to get comfortable with taking risks, right? They are not afraid to take risks. And you will notice that about ambitious people. They are very comfortable taking risks. And so we have to learn how to kind of take this leap of faith, right? That every single goal, single aspiration that we have of the things we want to have or do or become or create requires us to step out of our comfort zone, to become somebody that we have not been before, all right, with the new skills and knowledge, right? So you have to step out of your comfort zone, and that requires some risk. That requires you to take a leap of faith. Ambitious people have gotten good at being uncomfortable with being comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? They have gotten good at not being afraid to take a chance, take the risk. Does it always pan out? Absolutely not, right? But how do they process that? They see it as a learning opportunity. They figure out what it is that went wrong, so that they can course correct, right? And a lot of times we'll see people who are really successful and go, my God, she is so lucky. No, she's not lucky. She took a risk and it paid off, right? If you want to enjoy similar success, then be willing to take the kinds of risks that you see the successful people doing, the ambitious people doing. They don't always win, but they never really lose, because when they miss the mark, all that is a learning experience for the next time they step out of their comfort zone. And when they step out of their comfort zone and they hit the mark, they succeed greatly, right? So be ready to take those risks, my friends. Number 3 is that ambitious people, they focus on gaining knowledge. They focus on gaining knowledge, not success, not recognition, not the end result, because it gaining the knowledge, developing the skills eventually leads to those things, eventually leads to the success, the recognition, etc., etc. When I was in elementary school in Jamaica, I learned a poem that I've taught my kids, and every time I have a chance to speak to kids here at schools in the US, I recite it for them, and it goes something like this: labor for learning before you grow old, for learning is better than silver and gold. Silver and gold will vanish away, but a good education will never decay. And, what I understood by that poem when I was growing up was how important it was to, learn, to study, take my lessons seriously, because that which I've gained studying, I'll never lose. I may make all the money in the world and I lose that, but I can never lose what I put up here. And I think it's instantly applicable to all of us right now, although we may have been out of school for many decades, right? And let alone years. Because it is, as I said earlier, focusing on the knowledge, not on the success. It is in acquiring the knowledge. It is in developing the skills that we set ourselves up for success. I remember when I started bobsledding, I was a brakeman, and I would exhort, I would beg my driver to just learn the lines. Like, it's kind of like an actor, right? You can't successfully act in a play or a movie or whatever without knowing your lines, right? Well, bobsled drivers drive lines on the track, right? And the more successful ones are the ones who have learned the lines and mastered the ability to steer the sled along those lines. When you do that, you automatically get faster start times. And my man was just more interested in us pushing faster, which is a goal of mine, or was a goal of mine. But I also knew that no matter how fast you push, if you didn't know the lines, if he didn't learn the lines, we were not going to succeed. And again, that analogy is applicable to our lives, where we have to gain those knowledge, right? We have to go through the process of learning and experimenting and exploring and figuring out and working on the areas that we need to improve, so that as we focus on those things, we can create the results that we want, right? That's what you call success. So that's one of the absolute traits. The third one: focus on gaining the knowledge and stop focusing so much on getting and being successful. Because if you gain the knowledge and the skills and you do what you should do, you are going to succeed. I promise you that. Number 4, broaden your horizon. You have to broaden your horizon, man. You kind of have to expose yourself to things that you would in your normal circles not normally see. Just last Friday, actually, I was having a chat with my really good friend, Raul D. Lewis. You may not recognize the name Raul D. Lewis, but if you're seeing Cool Runnings, you'll remember the rich boy, Junior Bevel, right? That's Raul. He played that character. And we were talking about, me growing up and what my aspirations were. And growing up in the ghettos, looking out, dreaming about all that I could be, forgive the cliche there. I saw myself as an army officer, an officer in the Jamaica Defense Force. And man, if I could just accomplish that, if I could just get there, I'd be happier than a pig in slop, right? I just like, geez, just help me to become this army officer. And then one day I was an army officer, but I also ended up doing this little thing they call bobsledding. Go figure, right? And in the process, after the Olympics in '88, doing all these promotional tours, I was then exposed to a world that I never knew existed. I never could have imagined when I stood, in the hood, dreaming about becoming an army officer. And I'm like, whoa, so all of this is out there too? Whoa, I want some of that. And so it's not that being an army officer wasn't a desirable goal to strive for. No, I was there, and but it was, know that I saw that there was so much more out there. Know that my mind had been expanded, I'd broadened my horizon. Being an army officer was just something cool. There was more. And I tell people all the time, man, go as far as you can see. For when you get there, you'll see further. I promise you that. I dare you to do everything in your power to accomplish that which you are dreaming of accomplishing. Because once you get there, once you get to the top of that hill, you're going to look out and you're going to go, wow, there's so much more out there that I can do. You have no broadening your horizon. That's a hallmark of an ambitious person. And that's my challenge to you. So that's number 4. Number 5, I want to challenge you to surround yourself with ambitious people, right? So now that you're broadening your horizon, I'm not saying you should ditch your old friends. I'm just saying you should get some new ones. You should get some people whose vision are bigger than yours, whose vision will inspire you to dream even bigger, whose knowledge and skills will inspire you to acquire new knowledge and broaden your skills so that you can raise your game to the next level as well, right? The skill, the knowledge, and all of that you have acquired to this point will only take you to this point. For you to get to the next level, you have to acquire new skills, acquire new knowledge, make new contacts, surround yourself with new people. Because all of us, I think, are susceptible to this group think. That you're in a certain circle that think a certain way and behave a certain way. And again, that's only going to take you to this point. For you to get to the next level, for you to have an opportunity to truly be all that you can be, right? Reach your full potential. You're going to have to broaden your horizon, and you're going to need to surround yourself with new people, with new ideas that are going to spark new ideas in you and inspire you to do even more. So that's number 5. And finally, number 6, I talk about this all the time. Do not wait. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for the perfect time to go pursue your goals. Because guess what? There is never a perfect time, my friend. There is never a perfect time. The time is now to go do it, right? If you sit around waiting for the perfect time, you will be waiting for a really long time. So please, you see people again who are truly successful or significantly successful. You go, wow, they're so lucky. No, they took the risk. It wasn't the perfect time, but they decided that they were going to step out anyway. They were going to take that leap of faith. And as I said earlier, sometimes it didn't work out, and they just saw that as a learning experience. And other times they just hit the jackpot. And it reinforced in them this idea that, you know what, I don't have to wait for the perfect time. I don't have to have all my ducks in a row. I can dream big, do what I need to do by acquiring new skills, developing new knowledge, and step out there and give it my best shot, right? Every now and again, every single time I speak, I show a photo of our original team in Jamaica training and doing, guess what? Everything wrong, every single thing wrong. But yet there we were at the Olympics a few months later, and that experience really reinforced in my mind that you should never wait for the perfect time to go pursue your goals, because there's never a perfect time. But we can all strive to be more ambitious, and I think if we, in my opinion, apply these 6 traits to highly ambitious people, we're going to find our way towards being, highly ambitious ourselves. So those are the thoughts I wanted to share with you this week. As always, so appreciate you joining. Looking forward to connecting with you next week. Want to once again invite you to jump over to YouTube, man. youtube.com/keeponpushing-always. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, give us a thumbs up on those videos, and then invite your friends to join the community. I'd love to have a meaningful, vibrant conversation with all of you, because I don't purport to know everything. I know some things, but I don't know everything. And I think when all of us join in the conversation, we all get smarter, because you're going to have a perspective that I never thought of that is going to give me some insights, and hopefully I can provide some insights to you as well. So let's join hands. Let's get over the hump of life together. Thank you always for joining me. And as always, you know what you need to do until we connect next week. Yeah. Keep on pushing.